Hello students and welcome to IP Study Lecture videos. In this video, we are going to cover chapter 3 of grade 8 part 1 and the name of the chapter is A Story of Numbers. In this chapter, we'll understand how numbers have been evolved from stones to symbols from thousands of years. So let's start with the first topic, Introduction to Number System. We know that we need numbers to count population, to arrange or manage our money, and so on. So we need to understand how and why numbers have come into existence and how they have been evolved. So the first thing is the need for counting. The need for numbers is as old as human civilization. Even in the Stone Age, early humans needed way to count and keep records. This was important for following reasons that are listed below, like counting food supplies, like just checking how many food or for how many days the food can be used. Okay, like keep tracking of animals they used to herd. Trading goods, like when they exchange goods, they need to record the things. And fourth, recording offering in rituals, like how many times the mantras has been chanted, etc. So counting was an important part of human civilization. Now, the Hindu-Arabic numerals that we use today has its root in ancient India. The numbers or the digits that we use to form numbers like from 0 to 9 has been continuously evolving from times to times. The first thing that we need to note down is that 0 was first noted in Vakshali manuscript, which was in the form of dot. After the invention of 0, the Arabs took this 0 to the world, and after that there were various evolution of numbers, and finally the numbers that we see from 0 to 9 is what we get today. So let's start that how these numbers have been evolved from times to times and how different civilizations have been using different symbols to count things. Okay, so the next topic is fundamental concept of counting. So imagine a clan of early humans living thousands of years. They have no symbols for 1, 2 or 3 that they need to count their records, like the food items that they want to record, or the things like herd of animals they want to record. They don't have any symbols for that. So how they could record them? So they use one-to-one mapping, like they used to map one stone to one of the item that they may be using, like the food, or it can be an animal. So first was one-to-one mapping with physical object, a physical object like stone or anything else that they might have used at that time. The simplest method was to match each item being counted with a physical object. For every spear, which is one of the type of we can say arm that they uses to hunt animals, a hunter carried a small pebbles that could be placed in a leather pouch. So they used to match one pebble or one stone to the spear that they may carrying. So the number of spear if they have is 1, they have to use one stone to represent that, and so on for 2, 3 and 4. But what was the limitation of this one-to-one mapping? This method worked for small quantities, because for large quantity they may need to carry more pebbles or stones that would be difficult to do. Okay. So next was one-to-one mapping with sequence of sounds. Later on they invented sounds to record their things, like they used A to record one item, they used sound of B to match the 2 items. So they used sound after when they found out that it will be difficult to match each and every item with physical object. But it has also some limitation, because the number of letters or the sounds will be in a quantity like which can be counted, but sometimes it might be needed that they would require a large amount of sound to record their item. The sequence was limited. If the clan had more than 26 spears, they would run out of unique sound in this system. So this was the limitation of this system. Method 3, one-to-one mapping with written symbols. So later on symbols were developed to map or to count the items that they were carrying, or let's suppose if there are 4 items they want to record. So the next advancement was creating a written symbol to represent numbers, which can be carved into a stone or can be drawn on a wall, One famous example is the Roman numeral system, which we often see today. So these are the examples of different numbers and the representation in Roman numerals that has been used earlier. So like 1 is used like this, and 2 like this, 3 and 4, 5. So they have some rules which we'll understand later on. The Roman numeral system was widely used in Europe for centuries. Later on, when Arabs spread Hindu-Arabic numerals to the world, it replaced the Roman numeral system that has been widely used at that time. Now, as we have seen, 3 different methods the human civilization have been going through at that time. One was pebble method, one was sequence of sound, and one was written symbols. Let us see a quick glimpse of what is the difference between the 3 that we have seen. Like for pebbles can be lost, making it difficult to record or just find out how many things we have. Like it will be unreliable to count the things. It requires many items for large numbers. Like if I want to record 100 items, I will be requiring 100 pebbles, which will be difficult to carry, difficult to handle. Miscounting can occur if pebbles are misplaced. And for the sequence of sound, we may require a large number of sounds to record a large number of items. Like sounds disappear after being spoken and cannot be reviewed, or a sound can be forgotten for a particular count. Okay. Now for the written symbol, it is quite easier and more reliable method, because the written record is easy to store, or clay or wood can be checked later. Like we can record on a clay, on a wall, or a wood, which can be checked later that how many items has been recorded. A compact single symbol like 10 can be represented using this symbol, the same information efficiently. Okay. A fixed written symbol ensure accuracy, like everyone will have a same kind of symbol to record the same number of items. Moving to the next part, a historical survey of early number system. So when human civilization was evolving in the different part of the world, they were using different kind of numbers system to record their count. Like there is one example where system based on tallying and grouping, like they use fingers to group items. So use of body parts for counting. The most convenient counting tool is the one you always have with you, like your own body parts. While simply using 10 fingers is a good start, many cultures developed clever system to count much higher number just using hand. Like they have been using these fingers where we have around 12 small defined things that we can count, like from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So some part of the world has been using this system where they used fingers to count objects. Tally marks on the surfaces. Some of the human civilization were using tally marks where they used to count using the strokes. They used 4 vertical strokes, and then to record the 5th item, they used a slanting line. These are the tally marks which we often see in our books. Now, grouping by single number. So later on, grouping has been done using numbers. Like one is an example of Beti culture where they used different symbols to write the numbers. Like for 1, they used fog. For 2, they used this symbol. For the 3, they used this symbol which indicates 3, and so on. So in order to group items, they use these symbols. Like for example, if we want to name 6, then we know that it is 5 plus 1. So it can be written like 10, which is 5, plus 1, which is fog. So they used grouping of 5 to write the names of the numbers after 5. Okay. As you can see, the pattern continues. For example, the number 8 would be formed by saying 5 and 3, which will be 10, and for 3 we have lal, so 10 alal. Okay. This pattern of adding on continues, but to avoid becoming too long, new words were created for larger landmark numbers. Like landmark number means numbers that we use to form other numbers. Now, the power and problem of grouping. The technique of grouping we saw in the Beti language was not a rare idea. People all over the world independently discovered this powerful method, but they were different in different regions. While some cultures like the Beti use group of 5s that we have discussed. Other use different bases, like the Gumulgal people of Australia use system based on 2 instead of 5. But it was same like grouping the objects or grouping the numbers to form larger numbers. This was a huge improvement over simple tally marks, because our brain can instantly recognize small groups like 3 or 4 items, but struggle with larger unorganized sets. Now next is Roman numeral system. Now Roman numeral system, which we discussed earlier, we have seen that we use symbol to write the numbers. Now we'll understand how this works. So it was based on additive and subtractive rule, where in order to form numbers, we use landmarks symbols to form them. Either we have to add them or either we have to subtract them. So these are one of the examples of Roman numerals landmark symbols. Like for 1 we have this, then for 5 we have this, for 10 we have this, and so on. Now we can use these landmark symbols to form different numbers. Now additive rule says when a symbol of smaller value is placed after a symbol of greater symbol, their values are added. Like if we have x, now if we place a symbol for smaller number like 5 or 1, then we have to add them. So it will be 15. Now the subtractive rule says if we put a smaller numbers on the left side of larger numbers, we have to subtract that. Like if we have 5 and 1, the landmark symbol 1 is smaller than 5, if we use it over here, it will be 5 minus 1, 4. So based on these two, additive and subtractive rule, the Romans were easily forming numbers using these landmark symbols. Now moving to the next part, the breakthrough, the idea of a base. The Roman numeral system was a great step forward in human civilization for counting numbers, but it has some issues, like there were many symbols or landmark symbols that is quite very difficult to manage and use to form numbers. So there were some more base number system that we have to look. One was the Egyptian number system, which was called the earliest base 10 system. Okay, so here all the symbols are based on powers of 10. Like we have some symbols which is like one is vertical stroke, one is heel bone, and each symbols are based on powers of 10. So it is called the first or earliest. It is a base system, and what is the base? Base is 10. Okay, so one was like base 5 that we have seen using the fingers system that has been in the Bethi civilization, but the most important base system or base number system that we may understand is the Egyptian number system. In this system, we have these symbols which are used to write larger numbers. Like for, let's suppose if I want to write 11, then we can use 10 and 1. If I want to write 21, then we can use 2 10 symbol and 1 the value of 1 symbol, so which will be added together to form 21. But it has also a disadvantage that for larger numbers we have to use multiple symbols to represent them. Like for 5000 we have to use this symbol 5 times, which is lotus flower symbols. So this is quite easier than other method, but it also requires a large number of symbols to represent bigger numbers. Now, base system, defining a base system. So a base system is a system where every number or landmark number are based out of a single, or we can say same base. Like for the Egyptian number system, we were using base 10, where each number of the landmark symbol was based on power of 10. So we can use different bases to form our own number system. Now, advantage of base system, it makes easier to form numbers because we have defined landmark symbols and less number of symbols, and we just have to add them to find out the numbers they represent. But the disadvantage was they have to be used for the bigger numbers. We requires large symbols to represent them. Now, moving to the next part, the idea of place value. This was one of the most important evolution in the number, where place values of numbers plays a very important role in forming the numbers, like we use in our Hindu Arabic numeral system. Like for forming 99, we use 90 plus 9, where 9 has a place value of 90 and 9 has a place value of 9 ones. So this idea of place value plays an important role of what we see the Hindu Arabic numerals today. So one of the example of the place value system was the Mesopotamian or Babylonian system, which was using base 60 but based on place value only. So they uses these symbols to write the numbers, where they uses these symbols is called wedge. This is called slanting wedge and this is called vertical wedge. And they use this wedge to form different numbers. Like for 5 we have 5 small wedges, and for 6 we have 6 small wedges, and so on. And for the 10 we have this we can say horizontal wedge. Okay. Now for writing the numbers using this system, like write the number 43 using Babylonian system. Now we know that we have two symbols, one is the 1 and one is 10. So what we can use horizontal wedge like this 4 times, and then we can use a vertical wedge like this 3 times. Now the challenge was, for writing large numbers we may require various symbols out of these, which was very difficult to use. So for the landmark symbols we may also confuse, like in order to write 60 we have a symbol for 60. So if we use a place value for 60, one was for the ones and other was for 60, and so on. Like the place value of this number system was based on 60, like 1 and then 60 and then 3600. So powers of 60 was the main thing that we need to note down. And now if we use one only, like one wedge only, then it doesn't tells us that what numbers it is representing, either it is representing 1 or 60, because the place value was not easily identifiable. So this was the most important part that we need to note down when we understand the Babylonian number system. Now when it comes to the number where we use, like for 60 we may confuse, but it was more easier to write using these symbols than others that we have seen, because this uses place value, so we will require less symbols than what we have been seeing over this chapter. Okay. Now after this we have one more we can say place value based number system, which was Mayan number system, which has special place or a special symbol for 0, which made it easier to understand that this place value is having a 0 as a number, because in the Babylonian number system there was no symbol for 0, which made it difficult to understand what is given. Like for the 60 that I have told you, it will be difficult to understand using single wedge that is it 1 or is it 60. But in the Mayan number system we have a special symbol which is called shell for 0, and we use that shell to indicate that that position is empty or is 0. Like in the Mayan number system we have shell for 0, a dot for 1, and so on. For 5 we have another new symbol which is a line. Now in order to write 5 we'll use this, and in order to write 6 we'll use a line which will tell that 5 is at here and one symbol over it. So it will tell us that 5 is there and 1 is there, 6. Now let's suppose I have to form 16, then we have to frame 5 the symbol of 5 3 times, and I have to mark a dot which indicate that it is a 16. Now the Mayan number system has also some landmarks numbers that we need to understand. Like it starts with 1, the second landmark is 20, then 360, then 7200, and then 1,44,000. Now in order to write, like let's suppose if I have to write 22, then I have to use this 20 to write the numbers. So it will be 20 plus 2. Now in order to represent 20 we have to use a dot which will indicate 1 times 20, and here we have to put 2 zeros below it to indicate that the second number added with 20 is 2. Now let's suppose if we have 43, then also we have to use the landmark number 20 because it is the number which is nearest bigger number to 43. So we have to use 2 dot to represent that it is 2 times 20 because it will be 2 times 20 plus 3. So for 3 we have to use 3 dots below it. So like this we need a place value for each numbers that will have to break using these landmark symbols. Like for 725, we know that it will be the multiple of 360 that will be used because it is the nearest, or we can say bigger nearest landmark symbol that we can use. So it will be 2 times 360 plus the next will be, it will be 720, and after which it will be 5. So in order to represent this number, we know that this is the third landmark number. So what we'll use is, we'll use 2 dots at the top for the first place value, or we can say the top place value. Then we put a shell because there is no numbers that will be used to indicate the 20 landmark symbol. So we'll use the first landmark or one landmark number to write the 5. So we'll use 5 dots or a single line, which is a line which is used to tell that it is a 5 to represent 725. So the number in the Mayan number system will look like this: 2 dots, a shell and a line. Now the power and the special feature of the Mayan system. So it is clear that we have a place value based number system that makes it easier, and using a lower number of landmark symbols to write the numbers as compared to other landmark symbol numbers. Okay. Now the last number system, the Hindu Arabic number system that we use today, it has 10 symbols which is made up of these digits like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 10 digits or 10 symbols that are used to form any number in this world. So it is based on place value like Mayan number system, but it has a base 10 number system. A digit position determines its value. The 5 in 50 means something entirely different from 5 in 500. So it says that, let's suppose if we have 50 and if we have 500, these two 5 have different places in these two numbers. This is used in the tens place that we know, and it is used in the 100 place. So place value system helps us to understand the actual position and value of the digits. Now we also have, like in the Mayan number system, we have shell to represent 0. Here we have this symbol 0, which we already have discussed that initially in the Bhakshali manuscript we use dot to represent the same empty space. Now an example says, in the Hindu Arabic system, how do the 3 digit in the numeral 405 works together to represent the number 405? So we know that in the number 405 we can break 405 into 400 plus 0 plus 5. So it will indicate that the second place value from the right is empty, which is indicated using 0, which in the Mayan number system would be indicated using a shell. Here we use a 0, and then we have a 5 at the ones place. So the 5 is in the ones position, 0 is in the tens position, and 4 is in the hundreds position. So its value is 400, and we can add these place values to get our actual numbers. I hope you have understood this chapter very well, and you have understood how numbers have been evolved along with the human civilization. We'll meet in the next chapter. Till then, keep practicing, keep learning.